What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another NASCAR video. Are you ready for my very unrealistic, very broad wish list? Because even if you're not, I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. So the season is upon us. We're heavy into the middle of NASCAR season right now. And as you know, I'm a big NASCAR fan. Love it to death. And I love NASCAR games. My favorite of all time is NASCAR Thunder 2004, which is what I am hoping so dearly that this game continues to mold itself into with NASCAR Heat 4. I figure we're still a little bit early. We still have probably about 5-6 months before the new game comes out. But I figure, what the hell? This is a wish list, not a what is coming out list. So I'm just going to go through basically each category that I find in my head is important, that I love to see them improve on. Like I said before in previous videos, I'm not bashing them in any way. I think from what they've done from Heat Evolution to 2 to 3 has been phenomenal. They're doing a great job. I think people give them a lot of shit, which is, you know, deservedly so with some of these weird things that happen. But just to see their progression over the past 3 years, man, has been unbelievable. So shout out to the producers for making this game. It's been crazy to see the steps they've been going through the past few years. And I can only expect, fully expect with 100% confidence that the next game is going to be even better than NASCAR Heat 3. So for all you assholes out there that I keep giving them shit about these games, just not play the game. Just stop playing it. Go play your Fortnite or some shit. Leave them alone. Alright, so now that that's out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into a few things here. Some things I would like to see get improved a little bit. This is just basically me complaining about stuff. Again, nothing against the creators of this game. Just things that I would like to see, basically. The first thing's going to be the load times. The second thing's going to be the load times. Whenever I play career mode, I play on legend difficulty, always. I like to start off on the hardest, go up, and just move it from that way. I just think it's more of a challenge, a little bit more realistic that way, but I love what they did with this game. I think from, Heat 2 to this one's been great. I love how you're in, your shop. You can see your cars in the background being worked on like we've seen in past games. I think that's a great touch. It's really cool to see the progression of things going forward. Here's some things I would like changed as far as, what we're seeing here. The first thing I would love to see, I'm going to keep referring back to this, guys, because I'm an idiot, is NASCAR Thunder 2004. Whenever they would have you do upgrades to your facility, one sec, through the power of editing, we have come to this screen. As you go and upgrade your shop, you would start to see some stuff pop up around in the shop. This, it's basically just a meter where you'd upgrade, blip, 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 and that's it. Nothing really cosmetically happens to the shop. That's just basically me complaining, but I would love to see some different things happen with that. You start to see different equipment, other things pop out. If you buy a wind tunnel, you see a wind tunnel. That's what I really liked about playing, Thunder 2004. It was so 15 years ago, dude. It was just great already. But that's what I love seeing in that game. You'd buy a wind tunnel or buy like an engine hoist, you'd see it pop up around your shop. And as you progress, not just progress by series, but as you progress by like how much money you have, things you have in your shop, you would see your shop get bigger and bigger. Not just based on what series you're in, but just overall. Slight touch, but I still think that'd be cool to have. Instead of just a meter saying level 1 to level 6 of how good your engine is, actually make us buy different parts and different things for each engine type, whether it's the engine, aerodynamic, suspension, or just overall, commodities and stuff for our employees. I think that'd be cool as well. I'm not asking for a third-person simulator where you walk around and you're turning on light switches and shit and opening up drawers. I'm just asking to include the equipment and stuff and just make it visible cosmetically around the shop. The next thing, holy shit, is going to be the paint shop. Now, back in previous games, man, this was robust, beautiful. I've seen people just make wicked custom designs. This has been a big complaint from a lot of people and from myself as well. We've just, the past 3 years, this hasn't been something that really has been addressed at all, really, is the paint shop. You have your numbers, you have this basic stuff where you just basically fill in what number color you want, your different base paint, secondary paint, third color paint, your rim style, that's new, but as far as the designs and stuff, it's just subpar, man. And like Forza games, you could sit there and add the lines in individually, make the stuff, import stuff from different files, and now it's just very bland. And whenever you own a team and you go in your shop and you see this piece of shit car sitting out there, you're like, ugh, that's not what I want, but that's what I'm left with. They need to overhaul this shop completely. You can save your own templates of what you want to use. I would love to see, just like in the multiplayer mode or quick race mode, say I have the 28 truck. You have different preset paint schemes already saved. So as you're going to different races, say I'm racing at a short track, I click on my paint scheme 3, and that pops an already pre-saved paint scheme I made previously before the season or during the season that I can use for that. Instead, for this, it's just we have these bland-ass paint schemes that is really no fault of our own, and that's it. So they have talked about upgrading the paint shop. I hope that is something they definitely address. I'd love to see them address this and polish this up way before they add another series or something like that. I feel like they've done great adding the extra series and adding the, the dirt series this year as well and all the extra tracks. But this is something that needs to be addressed for sure. This is a must for Heat 4. The employee stuff's cool. This is something that's new for this year as well. I do kind of like the system that we do here. It is what it is basically. Back in the day with each season, you would basically get rid of somebody and hire somebody new that's more professionally trained instead of upgrading people that are already here. I think the old way is kind of more realistic. Say we have Barry Lees here, and say he's just doing a shit job messing up stuff and I'm blowing engines every single week. Next year, we get rid of him, bring in a new guy. I think it'd be cooler if we didn't have something that's, he has point spots for engine, aero, suspension. I think it'd be cool to just have, an engine chief, somebody that works on aerodynamics, and somebody that works on suspension, not somebody that's completely well-rounded in every single field on every single car. But that's just a stupid complaint for me, basically. I think it would be cool before each season you hire a new team or re-sign people, or they get better each year as they get more experience, basically. But with this, you're just basically buying their experience and going from there. I could buy, Barry, and he could be shit, and then within 2 races, I completely pump him up, and then he's a master all of a sudden. Doesn't work that way. It's not realistic, so I think it'd be better, say, if Barry's shit this year, next year I go out and buy, Huckleberry dipshit, and then he's, a little bit better than Barry, and we keep going through there and progressing. And as you do better in your cars, you start to attract better talent from other teams. I think that'd be cool as well. Overall, though, I do think this is a really cool thing they're doing here. I like the adjust work plan. I think that's realistic how you kind of work in between, each different race. You work on different stuff between. So I think that's cool. I like what they did there. And I think 6 bays is pretty good. I don't think there's any issue with that. One thing, though, I do want to see, man. I do want to see so bad, and I hope they can do this, is I would love to. I believe we had it like 05 or 06 where you could hire drivers and stuff. I would love if you could do that. Well, not so much as hire a driver, but I have a 1-car dirt team. I would love to have a 4-car dirt team. Have 3 other drivers that I can hire, bring up through the series, bring up through the ranks, and I could sit there and hire them to drive my other 3 cars. So essentially, I'd have 24 bays, or I have different teams, going, and I could have. It'd just be cool, man. I could have one team that I'm putting a lot of money into, my championship caliber team, then I have like little smaller teams that I'm slowly working up. I think that'd be cool, and you could sit there and sell assets if you wanted to, or sell off a team to kind of upgrade your truck team or Xfinity team as well. So I think that'd be something cool to see. I love to have separate teams, like in my dirt team, love to have separate teams within that team. You follow along with what I'm saying? Basically, just make the career mode more in depth. I love to see that. One thing I love to see as well, like we've seen in 2006 Total Team Control, is where you can actually buy. I can go up there and buy Joe Gibbs, or I go up there and buy Kyle Busch Motorsports or Hendrick. That'd be something I love to see be done. It's not as fun that way to me, but say you get done with the game, you're like, man, I've done everything there is to do. Buy up teams. That's it. You're good. That's basically a big thing on my wish list, is really just making it more in depth. As long as to have multiple teams, not just, across multiple series, I think it'd be cool as well. Just add a little bit more in depth. I love the managerial aspect of this. I really do enjoy it. That's one of my funner parts. When I get done with the race, I'm thinking, man, I made a lot of money that race. I can invest it back into my company, and we could be in really good shape going down the road. So I love that, especially when you're struggling at first too. It's a lot of fun. So that's something I love to see going forward, and hopefully they do that. Reputation stuff, this means nothing to me. It's kind of like the rival system they did back in the day. It's alright. Doesn't really bother me none. I'm usually a pretty clean racer anyway, so this is what it is. It's a cool little touch, but I really have no pros or cons regarding it. It used to be really bad whenever you go at a super speedway and they would just destroy you, but for me right now it's fine. I race clean anyway, so no issues on my end. This is one thing for me that's really lacking in my eyes is the stats. We need some work on this bad for me. We used to not have any stats at all, so I'm glad to see they're making changes to it to make it a little bit better, but they need to have a big overhaul, man. Big overhaul. Like the total career stats, that's cool. You have your races or whatever. So one thing that in past games, I keep going back to this. Let's say the race is 46. How many seasons? I'd love to see it split it up like they used to do back in the day by row. You know, season 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019. Show your stats for each season. Talking starts, wins, top 5s, top 10s, average starting position, average finish. How many laps lit? How many laps did you actually lead? How many pole positions did you win? How many races were you the top rookie of the year? Things like that. But this, all we have is just races. I don't know over the course of how many seasons did I race those races. Wins, top 10s, top 5s, that's great. Did I lead a lot of laps? I don't know. Championships, okay, cool. What years? There's not a whole lot there. It's cool to look back on and see like your overall total career stats is cool and stuff, but just needs more, man. Just needs more. And I'd love to see a manufacturer championship as well. Love to see a team championship as well. And rookie of the year standings as well. And they used to have different things for like pole awards. Who had the most of the year, total laps led. Bring those stats back. That was like bragging rights to myself during career mode. It was just cool to see, dude. And just the more statistical stuff they can bring in, the better. It's just cool to sit there and look at that sometimes, especially when you're dumping so many hours into career mode. You know, it's worth it to add this stuff in there for it, because that's what people really care about at the end of the day is their stats. It's cool to look back on. Another thing I'd love to see, man, is a freaking trophy case. What are we doing? It's 2019. We were doing this shit almost 20 years ago. Give us a trophy case. I want to see what trophies I need left. I don't know what tracks that I've won, you know, shit at. They used to have track stats. Bring back track stats. Whenever I go to Daytona, I want to know if I'm shit at Daytona. How many wins do I have there? How many top 5s, top 10s? Bring that shit back, dude. I want to see track stats again. Even for like all the series. I don't just want to see Camping World Series. I want to be able to scroll through. What are my stats at for this track? Okay, I'm coming up here in a couple weeks. Where did I finish there last year? Well, you know, what do I need to do to prepare for this year? What was I struggling with? Blah, blah, blah. Where did I finish? And I could think back and remember, oh, I was a DNF. Or, you know, this happened, blah, blah, blah. Where did I start? What's my average starting position? To see what I need to work on. If it's a track I'm really good at, maybe bring like a shittier car there so I can know I can make it work. If it's a track I'm not good at, I'll be like, dude, I need to pump everything I need to into this track to make sure I get some kind of good finish because I cannot afford a bad finish. I want to see track stats. Desperately, dude. Bring that shit back. And the trophy room, that's just a small pet peeve, but it's just a pride thing when you look at all your trophies for each, series basically, and see that. I can look up there and be like, man, I have 20 out of 22. I'm missing these two. What tracks are they? And you see like an empty spot on the case. Like, oh, cool, okay, and that. But also be cool is, say you have Bristol and you have 5 wins at Bristol. I'm not saying give me 5 trophies of that same damn, trophy. Maybe just have little stats. This trophy, the years, spring race, blah, 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 blah. How many times? I think that'd be really cool. We can also do things for poll awards too, filling it up with poll awards. I think it'd be awesome. It's just another pride thing, dude. Bring the trophy rooms back. Please, God. It cannot be that hard. Again, I'm not getting mad. It's just me rambling right now. That's really all that I have as far as the career mode goes. Overall, man, they've made a lot of cool adjustments to it. Obviously there's other stuff that I haven't mentioned that can be adjusted, but these are the main things for me that I'd like to see be done. Really, with the whole racing aspect of it, they made a lot of good changes, I think, to how some things work. I would love to see the highline become more prominent at certain tracks. I know that's just unrealistic because some tracks there is not, but I really want to see it become more prominent and doable at some tracks, man, because the pack mentality that you get in sometimes in the career mode is just weird, how the draft will work, and the AI is just drafting with each other so tight, it's just kind of unrealistic. So it is nice whenever we do these longer races, they get kind of spread out. It gets a lot of fun. I want to see tire wear be a bigger thing for sure. I want to be slipping and sliding around a lot, and the AI doing that as well. I don't want them to just be on a rail. I want to see them sliding and stuff too. This is all stuff they have to put into AI. It takes time. I get it. But hopefully in the next few years we can start seeing more realistic racing attributes from the AI. It's just going to take time though, but that's some things I want to see. Bring the highline in good. Actually seeing the progression of rubber being laid down would be cool, and the line moving around during the race would be cool as well. And just the AI being more realistic. That's probably going to be thing every single year as we get more and more into this contract that they have. But you know, those are really my only little pet peeves as far as that stuff goes. Really just need to call this, you know, video here my NASCAR Heat 4 career mode wish list. Everything else, multiplayer, you know, it's fun. I enjoy doing it. They made a lot of improvements to that, so I'm not really going to complain too much about that. The stuff they've been doing with esports is pretty cool, so I do enjoy seeing that. Would love to see more of a league thing be added in. A more accessible one for everybody would be cool. That keeps track of all the stats and stuff and things like that would be awesome. So people don't have to sit there with the damn stone tablet and a chisel and, you know, write all that stuff in every single week. I think it'd be cool if they actually added that into, you know, the game itself, which I think they are going to. There's been some interviews with them saying that, yeah, we are going to be doing this in the future. So that's good to see. So that's basically everything that I got, guys. I'm mostly a career mode player on this. I like playing some multiplayer stuff, but you get a lot of trollers and things like that. So it's all good, but really the career modes are where I really stick to with these games. I really enjoy doing those the most. It's a lot of fun just sitting down, relaxing, racing some races in your career mode, building up some stuff a little bit, and you can back out whenever you want, man. But I would love to see that and get a little bit more in depth, because I think that's where a lot of your hardcore players are at, is in the career mode. And just make it to where the playability of it's just a little bit longer, you know. I think adding in those little managerial things, multiple teams, stuff like that would be a lot, you know, cool touch. So just things like that, man. I think it'd be really neat. But I want to thank you guys, as always, for watching. If I get some more ideas, I may make another video here in the future. If we start to get a little bit of news leaking out, I'm sure we will. Usually we do around the July Daytona race, so I'll be having some more stuff out as well for that. But I want to thank you guys for watching so much. Hopefully this kind of inspired you a little bit to think ahead for NASCAR Heat 4 if you have not been already. And just let me know what you guys think and other things that you would like to see in the game as well. I'm sure I forgot shit. It's whatever. I covered the main things that I want to see. But as always, thank you guys so much. I can't wait to do more NASCAR live streams. I can't wait to do some more videos coming out in the future. And I can't wait to cover some of the topics and discussions they have as far as what we're going to see in NASCAR Heat 4. So thank you guys always so much. I always do appreciate it. And I will see you on the next video.